Arpit is a young lad with cerebral palsy. That prevents him from communicating by talking or by writing. He also can't use the computer in the normal way because he is unable to control his hands enough to be able to use a mouse or a keyboard. My name is Arun Mehta, and my effort has been to try and help Arpit communicate through the computer in some other way. What works in our favor is how obviously interested Arpit is in learning how to use a computer. The first thing that we needed to do was to find a good input device that works for him. And the one that seemed to work best was the wheel. The wheel attaches to the computer in exactly the same way as a joystick. It is preferred by gamers when racing cars or motorcycles, and it is also very useful in navigating Google Earth, so on. So first we needed to see if this works for Arpit, and the best way that we could figure this out was to let Arpit demonstrate to us how he could play a simple children's game of Santa using the wheel. What Arpit is going to demonstrate to us is how, using the foot pedals, he can, in a game, move the Santa forwards and back, and using the gear shift, which is this button here, he can get Santa to jump. Good. वो जरा gear को करो, वो but हाँ उसको करो. So he is able to operate this game using a joystick. Next, having figured out that he can use this device quite conveniently and he enjoys doing so, we had to think of software that might work for him with these very simple controls. The first software that we wrote for Arpit to try out was a simple picture browser where you can change the picture that you are looking at. We are looking at fishes now, and by either the wheel or the pedal you can change the photographs. Now every time we press the stick, we change the category of pictures that you are able to look at. That worked quite well for Arpit, and he was very engrossed with that. So the next software that we tried with him allows him to type. With the wheel, you move the characters horizontally. With the pedals, you move them up. And by pressing the gear lever, you can type. And by taking the gear lever back, you delete the character. This was again something that Arpit immediately understood. Now he had to learn several things at the same time. He had to figure out what the buttons were doing, how to push the buttons, and how to rotate the wheel and press the pedals. And then he also had to figure out how he was going to best communicate to us that he had understood all this.
Now he has to figure out which button is working for what, that also. No?
I think that stick works best for the...
Stick is working best.
शाबाश. पैर से करो.
अब नीचे जाओ.
Good boy.
कट कर दो बस. बस. Very good.
शाबाश. And within a space of a few minutes, by having typed, "I am Arpit," he was able to show us that he had mastered handling the wheel in the simple art of typing. Okay, we are now looking at ways of making the software smarter. How can Arpit type faster? How can he do other things like mail or chat or web browsing and so on. Perhaps you have some ideas as to what kind of other hardware he might use, what kinds of software he might use. Perhaps you know other children who are in a similar predicament, who might be able to use this software and benefit from all this interaction that we are having with Arpit. I would like to remind you that this software is free and open source. For finding out more about what's happening in this project and to take advantage of it and to help with it, please come to arpitblog.wordpress.com. Thank you very much, and keep watching this space for further adventures with Arpit and the Wheel.